Hi guys, my name's Denny and welcome to Raven Studios. Today I'm going to be showing you a very quick track breakdown of all the elements within my latest remix. It's called Didgy Do by Sammy Alexander and out now on Ezy St Records. Let's take a look. Okay, so the first element that I always start with is the foundation of the track, and that is the kick and the drums. So I've got a nice 909 kick. I've got the original shaker. I then have the loose hat, and that works really well with the shaker. I then have the crash and a reverse crash. So this is out the original. And then I've got the reverse one, and what that does is leads into it. I've then added an open 909 hat. So when I play all those together with the kick, got really nice kind of live groovy shuffle there. I then get into the percussion. So I've used their rolling percussion out the original track. Sorry, not there, it's not a group, it's Sammy Alexander's. I've then also added this conga. And then a lower conga that comes in. So you've got the rollingness there of all the drums. So then what I've got is I've got a drum fill that comes in after the breaks, at the end of the breaks. Nice big tribal hits. That's what I always love, those kind of tribal records, and that's what I've tried to do with this. I've added some conga delays in the break. Just to create some atmospherics within there. I've then got some original percussion that comes in that's a little bit of a percussive melody. And then I've laid that with a cowbell. This is the cowbell on its own. Now have a nice clap. And then there's a percussion hit which I've used just as a bit of a dynamic thing, an effect within the drums. It's quite nice. So when I play all the drums together with the kick, the hats and the percussion, we then have the bass line. We then get to the vocals, and I've used a chant vocal here from the original track. We then have this vocal, which is kind of a rhythmic one that I added.
Every day, yeah. Every day, yeah.
And then I introduced that here pitch down in the break. We then have the melodic parts, and I've got a held string. And the reason that's in is it just creates this high-end frequency throughout the track. And then I've got 3 different didgeridoos from the original track. And they just create really nice melodies, and you know, it works within that tribal house kind of vibe. I then get on to the effects. I've got this delayed effect that hits on the one after to accentuate the main drops and things. It's quite nice, quite high end. I've got this trippy effects that only comes in on the main break. I have a similar kind of thing, but a much smaller effect in the first break. Only comes in once. I've got an atmosphere sound that I've put in throughout the track. And then we've got the break effects here, which I've got this sub bass sound when it drops into the break. I have a white noise downshifter. I've got a white noise riser. And then I've got the main riser, which is only in the main break. And when you play all the elements together, you get this. And if you'd like to watch the full track breakdown in depth, where I deep dive into all the individual sounds, how I processed everything and the thought process behind it, please join us at www.theravenstudios.com. Thanks.